What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Summoner's Fate. Summoner's Fate wears a lot of hats. It's got a lot of things going on. But effectively, this is a tactical RPG that uses sort of a summoning system a la Magic the Gathering in order to get the idea across. A long time ago, there was a PC game for Magic the Gathering. Not necessarily the one that's out right now, but it was kind of like an adventure open-world RPG game, and when you ran into enemies on sort of like a Might and Magic style map, you would battle them in Magic the Gathering cards, basically. This game is kind of like that, but not really. So this game has a procedurally generated grid. You pick a summoner. They all have like a different ability and like a different thing they focus on and like different elements that they're attuned to. And you explore the landscape with the ultimate goal of being you kill 3 bosses without going down. That's the point of the game. And you never know quite what you're going to run into. Now, along the way, you're going to accumulate a deck. The combat in this game is a square grid where you can move and you can attack. However, you've also got a summoning deck, which is going to allow you to summon creatures, throw fireballs, stuff like that adds a little bit of flair to the grid-based tactical RPG system. And so anyways, this is a game that's pulling and pushing in a lot of different directions. I don't entirely know how to describe it. I'm not a huge card game guy. I don't know if I've mentioned that on the channel before. I don't particularly like card games. But this game's kind of interesting, so I figured I would show it off, even though it's not the kind of game that I personally would play. So, Summoner's Fate. If you want to get the game, there's a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, you'll also be able to swing through and check out my Twitch stream and my Discord down there, just in case you wanted to hang out live or hit me with any questions or whatever else. I tend to rattle around in there for most of the day, every day while I'm working. So let's go ahead and start a new game. As of right now, I haven't really unlocked that much inside the game. We're going to play on the medium difficulty. Oh, apparently I did. Never mind. I've got Sylvia the Druid right here, and she's actually kind of... This game does have a sense of humor. Sylvia the Druid, she throws squirrels at people. She's a squirrelomancer. She is a druid. She throws squirrels at people. They bounce off of people's face, and when they hit the ground, they turn into units that you can control and attack with. It's actually kind of hilarious. And Taurus, I don't actually know what he does. Apparently, all of his damage spells get knockback. So he's good at swords, and he's good at sorcery. He deflects enemies' magical attacks, while using his own empowered spells to send enemies flying into traps and waiting combo attacks of his allies. Okay, so he's going to be using kind of knockback systems in order to get things done. I don't know, I feel like for the case of the game, the best person to pick is the lady who chucks squirrels, because that's hilarious. But then again, I've been playing her, for the entire afternoon, just getting used to the game so that I can do this video. And so I kind of want to do something different just for my own personal selfish means. But for you guys, I will play Sylvia one more time, even though I'm kind of tired of Sylvia, just so you can see what a squirrel thrower looks like. You can customize your deck. As you play through the game, you will unlock cards, and those cards just become available to you. That's it. And then this game is all about customizability and doing whatever the hell you want within reason. If you're wondering how the characters unlock, the meta progression in this game is actually kind of interesting. All of the characters have achievements you have to do in order to unlock them. So in order to get Antares, I think I had to push enemy characters around a total of 10 tiles or something like that. And so everything has something like that. You know, kill 4 enemies with 1 spell cast. We'll probably unlock a character. The cards, though, when you find the cards in-game, I'm pretty sure they just get added to this beginning roster. And so our characters started out with Animal Growth. You give a ally 3/3. If it's small, mutate it. That's exactly what it sounds like. I told you guys this game was basically Magic the Gathering on a battle grid. It gives them 3 HP and 3 attack. This right here is Armored Squirrels. You summon 2 squirrels. And then right here we have Polymorph, which will allow you to turn one of the enemy's strong units into a 1/1 squirrel that can be easily dispatched. This is kind of an underrated spell right here. Instead of the Armored Squirrels and instead of the Animal Growth, I feel like I would rather go. You kind of want to theme your deck in this game. You kind of want to be like elementals, dragons, goblins, because they all tend to benefit things of their own type. But anyways, I'll probably take Hellhound. That sounds good. And then I will probably also take Wolf, so that we've got a 1, a 2, and a 3 as far as our costs go. I feel like that gives us kind of like a heavyweight spell to deal with enemy problems. We've got kind of like a mid-range character that can tank a lot, and then we've got kind of a weaker unit that we can summon for really, really cheap. That seems okay to me. I'll take that. I'm not upset about that build right there. It doesn't have any particular, like, synergies or anything that it does particularly well, but it is kind of balanced, and it gives us options. Fantastic creatures and deadly enemies call this forest home. Somewhere in the mist, the first boss makes its den. Keep your wits about you. Help your summoner explore and battle by building a deck of magic. So you just move around with W, A, S, and D. You can also click on stuff. And, like, there's sometimes loot and things inside of there. For example, there's going to be 10 scrolls on every map. If you find every single scroll, you unlock something. I haven't survived long enough to do it yet, so I can't tell you exactly what that means. But it says that you unlock something if you clear off the entire... If you get, like, all 12, sorry. If you get all 12 scrolls, you get something. This is a campfire right here. If you use this campfire, it restores your health back up to max, and then if you have guardians with you, which are permanent minions that you don't need to summon, they also get healing. And so those are really good tiles to be aware of. We can kind of like surmise that there's going to be spiders over there maybe, but we don't really know what we're walking into, and at this point in the game, this is when we're at our weakest. We're not good for this fight. We need to run away. It gives you a free retreat. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That's like one of the ways that I think the game tries to minimize randomness a little bit. Oh, there's bees over here. Okay, well, let's introduce them to the concept of bees nuts. I'm going to throw a squirrel at this guy. Yeah, you've been squirreled. And he dropped a dice. There are skill checks, and there are storylines in this game. There's randomized events, and you're going to be rolling on a D20 as though you're playing at Dungeons & Dragons. If you don't know what a D20 is, it's a 20-sided die, and the various sides or facings of the die will give you different outcomes when you get to those challenges. These allow you to roll extra die, thus increasing your chances to succeed. By default, you always get 1 die in a skill test, but you can throw up to like 50. I honestly don't know. I've thrown like 7 or 8 when I really, really wanted to pass a skill check. My squirrel's going to fall back because their movement range is terrible. The game does allow you to check attack ranges and also check the movement ranges of your enemies, which is a nice touch. You can right-click on anything, and it'll show you its unit card. This guy flies, which means he can go over the top of obstructions, and then he also inflicts poison, which makes you take damage every turn. We're going to go ahead and end the turn right there because I'm just going to like get to summoning an army of squirrels. This is kind of like one of the early game fights that you want to take so that you can kind of get stronger. One thing that's different is that summons in this game, they can be used on the turn that they're summoned. I assumed that that was implemented as a mechanic in order to make the combat flow very, very quickly, and indeed it does. The game is very, very rapid fire and plays very quickly because of that change. However, there can be turns where your enemy summons like a dozen things on you and just steamrolls you, and that tends to make it so that I tend to stay in the backfield and like really, really kite and stay away from the enemy because you can only summon allies within like 1 square of yourself. And so I tend to stay a long way away from summoner enemies because they just have this proclivity for dropping like 3 units on me in 1 turn and then OTKing me. And so I try to avoid them. We got a spell, Animal Growth. Give your ally animal 3/3. Okay, it's a nice little buff. I'm not going to read through that right there because, you know, we're doing an impressions video, and so honestly, I think it's a good idea. That's a minion fight? That was a tough minion fight if it was a minion fight. What do we have over here? Finding the perfect tree. Goblins are chopping down the forest to find the perfect Christmas tree. They don't know what that means, they just like chopping things. Heavily alarmed by their behavior, a treant is trying to stop them. The goblins have now turned their axes against the treant, and it's getting dicey. Probably help the treant, I guess. All right, so we can roll a d20 here. I'm going to triple roll. You get lots of dice in this game, so I don't really care. It looks like the goblins just attack, so that's fine. I'm glad I threw the extra dice. Otherwise, this probably would have rapidly gotten out of hand and caused problems. He just got one-shotted into the wall. And that was that. We actually didn't have to fight a fight there. Recognizing you are not one to be trifled with, the outmatched goblins scurry off into the forest. Hopefully they'll think twice about who they raise their axes to in the future. Grateful for your help, the treant pledges to join your adventure. Nice. Yeah, welcome. Good to have you. He's a loyal unit. That means I don't need to summon him. He's not a guardian, though. Guardians tend to be bigger and tougher, although this, in my opinion... Oh, we got a life fruit. It increased our HP by 3. Nice. A little bit of character development right there. You love to see it. But he's not a guardian. He's a loyal unit. The difference is sort of hard to describe. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is. Ah, treasure room. There are secrets in this game, and you should definitely keep an eye out for them. That's the dragon armor right there, as far as I know. Is it not? Oh, I guess it's not. Last time I looted that, I got a card for like some dragon armor or something, and it actually equipped on my character. There's lots of little details like that in this game. So for example, from my deck, were I to play Animal Growth on one of my units, it actually changes what their sprite looks like. So if I cast Animal Growth on a wolf, he'll actually turn into like a lycanthrope, like a bipedal werewolf instead of like a normal quadrupedal wolf, and everything in the game is consistent with that. That's one of the reasons I decided to cover the game, even though I don't like card games, is that it's apparent to me that a lot of care and a lot of detail has been put into this game in order to make the experience more satisfying. Who are you? Angels are selfless celestial beings that have fully opened their hearts to helping others. From time to time, they fall from the heavens to protect and guide others on their spiritual journeys. Unfortunately for this poor angel, she miscalculated the landing and was fatally injured. I guess I can try to help. It's like a 50-50 kinda. Apparently the angel died and she ascends to heaven. That's my bad. I've only been on this adventure for like 10 minutes and I've already been responsible for the medical malpractice of an angel. That's a lot of bees. That's a lot of bees. Okay, so this is going to get wild and crazy before it gets better. Attacking enemies from behind. Every enemy in this game gets a counterattack, so you want to make sure that you're always attacking enemies from behind, or enemies in this situation. If you attack enemies from behind, they don't get a counterattack, and that's actually a major, major source of damage. I don't really want to summon a critter right now until I have to. I would like to get out of this corner, though, and I suspect I probably should have. Let's stay back, because the other three bees can't get to us on this turn. They can only get to the summoned squirrel. This guy can get over here and take one attack, but I don't know if he actually will. Instead, what we'll do is we'll throw a squirrel over there. He'll come around that way, get the kill right there. This guy will come over here, isolate right there. We got a free dice. And yeah, I saved my cards. The reason why I'm worried about saving my cards and my card economy is that once you use a card, it's gone until you camp. And so one of the big challenges in this game is really understanding and knowing when to throw down and unleash like a summon storm versus, oh my god, killer bunnies. Summon 2 killer bunnies with piercing attack. They disarm, block, and armor. That's actually pretty good. There's a lot of 1/1 enemies in this game that have shields that are super annoying because you need to get in behind them if you want to do anything. The M key is going to give you access to your map just in case you wanted to see what the currently uncovered grid looks like. Oh, nice. We got like another scroll. We're getting there. Another dice as well. Definitely take that too. I would have preferred to pick up the angel, but just didn't go that way. Ooh, a manticore. Oh, is he trying to fight me? Oh, we're just like straight up fighting the manticore. Oh, okay. Yeah, throw a squirrel. I throw a squirrel at him. We'll attack him from behind. He's got pretty good attack though. I'm gonna suggest we mutate that squirrel right there, and as you see, he's become like a were squirrel. This may be the time to use my resources. This guy's pretty tough, and he concerns me. There are no attacks of opportunity in this game, so don't stress about that. Yeah, he ran straight around me and just dealt damage. Okay. Let's go ahead and... Well, if you can knock back somebody into the cone of, or the circle of control for another unit, what'll happen is they both double attack. Or they don't like double attack, I guess. That's not exactly how I'd put it. But they will strongly attack. There we go. Alright, let's grab that. What do we have here? Armored squirrels. Well, it's a good thing we didn't start out with them because we got them for free anyways. Why buy the dairy when the milk is free? Okay, so what directions can we kind of haul off in? It looks like there's one grid right here we haven't checked. If you're wondering about the UI, this is how much lore we've discovered. This is how many soul gems we found. Soul gems reduce the boss's HP. These are mana gems. They reduce the boss's mana, so the more you clear out the map, the weaker the boss gets. And trust me, this game is really hard, so you're going to need it. We don't have the boss key just yet. That's how many dice we have. This is our marshmallows. When you find a camp, you can break it down for marshmallows if you want, and you can use the marshmallows elsewhere to ignite an already depleted camp. This is a skeleton key. It's for giant treasure chest, and this is gold that we use for bribes, quests, things of that nature. Is there still further north we can go here? It looks like there is. Hey, we found a vendor. What's he got for us? Sides, roadside shop. Okay. I don't know precisely what I want right now. Squirrel throw might be good for isolating and eliminating certain enemies. Snake might not be a terrible idea either, although armored squirrel is free. We can't afford armored squirrel. Never mind, we're too poor. All right, well, we picked up one card, but you do kind of want to have like a build in mind when you're playing this game. If you don't, you're going to have a bad time. You want to kind of be like building towards something. Hit him from there. How far can they move? Far enough. Fall back. All right, let's just wait for them to come to us. We've got furious battle squirrels all up in our business right now. Keep waiting. Oh, you can get him right there. Very nice. Okay, well, I welcome you to walk into my wall of squirrel. Now we got another wolf card. Now I feel bad because I used one of my opening picks on a wolf card. Rip. You can just, I don't know why this guy's dithering so much, but, like, get over here. I'm not going to come to you. I'm definitely not going to do that. They've been knocked out, and it looks like we've got another HP increase over here, which I am stoked about. There we go. So there's 11 HP, and there's a secret right here. We got the Poison Blade. Okay. And we got another lore scroll. Very nice. And it looks like we can pick a card from this, I guess, I don't even know what that would be called. Like podium, I suppose? We could get another polymorph, which I actually think would, like, stack well into our build. The only problem is that polymorph is kind of pricey. Entangled be nice if I was running a range build. We do have a very animal-heavy deck right now. Yeah, we do have an animal-heavy deck. So we could go for Animal Overrun, which would make us considerably stronger. Torn between that and Polymorph, because Polymorph effectively neutralizes one enemy down to a 1/1 squirrel. And so, like, we can take, like, one of their biggest, toughest summons and just be like, yeah, you know that 7/7 you have? It's a 1/1 now. Get wrecked. I think Animal Overrun maintains mana economy, though, while simultaneously stacking with our deck, so I'm going to take that. That's a skeleton key chest, in case you were wondering what that is. Looks like there's a secret over this way somewhere, too. It's like north of Sides. Another campsite. I've only used 2 of my cards, so I don't think I need the rest site right now. I think we can keep on trucking a little bit longer. And in fact, this gold might actually be super helpful for buying a few more things at Side's shop. Can't go north any further, so we're pretty much tapped out over here, but I do appreciate all that money we just took on board. Might help us kind of like round out a weak spot in our build maybe a little bit later before we go after the boss. Oh yeah, we're as far north as we can go. I'm going to cut east a little bit. It looks like I haven't really been going east. Oh, a ferry. Excited by your presence, the fairy gives you an alluring look and offers to grant you a wish in exchange for a kiss. Sure. As you kiss the fairy, you feel your life force being drained. Suddenly, the fairy transforms. She is a succubus! No! Get away from my son, succubus! I'll roll like 4 dice. She runs off. We didn't get her. Fortunately, our dice be kind of cold today. It's a shame. I used up all my luck on the last run when I was practicing for this video. I was hitting every single unlikely roll last game. This time around, I can't seem to catch a break. But then again, a lot of people don't consider that randomness is really spiky. This fight might be a bit too much. I think if I can neutralize somewhat by hurling a lot of squirrelings, we'll be okay. Because he attacks for 4, so that's a kill right there. He's dead. You get in from behind and deal the damage right there. And I think we kind of just got to hope that these weird little scorpids or whatever they are that they don't run up on our summoner. What do I have in my deck? Unfortunate. I kind of wanted to swarm them with like 1/1s. Yeah, I'll put down the wolf. Why not? Wolf might protect us. Bring the wolf back up over here, although I did just open the wolf up to a backstab, which was super stupid of me. The good news is the wolf protects. Oh, I forgot to attack right there. Roll it back. That's one of my favorite features about this game because I'm a Butterfingers type guy when I play games like this. If you screw up something, just roll it back. There's an undo button. In my opinion, every strategy game in the history of ever should have a rollback button. Like, you have no idea how many battles I've lost because I sneezed at a bad moment or because my cat walked across my keyboard or something in games. It's just one of those things that's driven me nuts for, like, my entire life of gaming. And I feel like an undo button is just a absolutely fabtabulous addition to any strategy game. All right, so the battle is done. We'll grab our dice real quick. We've got the Entangle card. Well, I'm glad that I didn't buy it. I would like the option to not add a card to your deck and just convert it into money or convert it into a dice. I would really, really, really like that as an option. But we're going to use a skeleton key to go open this chest over here. Skeleton key. Skeleton key. We got Mana Potion. It's a satchel card. Start the next battle with 1 mana. One-time use card that can be played from your satchel while not in combat to prepare for the next battle. Okay. Fair enough. Every single tutorial window in this game has 2 options. Remind me, or I know, basically. Remind me means the next time you pick one up, it'll display the same thing again. I don't know, or I know that means it'll never show you that tutorial again. That, in my opinion, is also a really, really good addition. I'm really, really torn about this game because it's not the kind of game that I would play because I don't like card games. But, like, it is a really, really well-assembled game. And I do think that, like, part of my job is to look at stuff that I particularly wouldn't play, but at the same time look at it with an objective eye and say, like, yes, even though I don't like this particular genre, this is implemented well. This is done well. And by far, with Summoner's Fate, I think they've got all the bits and pieces in the right spots. I haven't really seen anything so far that I was just like, this game is terrible and I hate it. Who are you? This powerful creature would prove a useful addition to your team if you can capture it. Capture him. He looks awesome. I want him. Oh, we rolled a 19. He's been captured. And then we've got to train him now. Oh. That was a pretty bad roll right there. We just took a lot of damage, but we did train him. And so now we've got another critter that just exists at the beginning of the battle. I'm going to go back and rest at the campsite real fast because that scuffing that he just took, like, he didn't want to be friends, but after beating us about the head, neck, and shoulders until we bled and oozed, he realized that a partnership was inevitable, okay? Me getting my ass kicked and bullied by this mob was all a negotiating tactic. Don't get it mixed up. Here's our camp, so we'll go ahead and utilize it. Go ahead and make camp, and there it is. Everybody heals, everybody feels better. Our turtle comes along so that we can look at lore and, like, things that we might want to unlock. I don't really care about that. I just want to get back on the road. I think we can now take this goblin fight down here no problem because we've got pretty considerable backup in our pocket. Can't really do much right there. What do you do? Knockback, inflict freeze, vulnerable fire. Okay, so he knocks enemies back, and then he loses extra life when he's hit by fire. Fair enough. I'm going to go ahead and one-shot this guy right here, just to get him off the field of play. Knock his shield down. Move to there to protect the summoner. Don't know if I really want to summon anything right now. Like, I feel like we more or less have this fight in the bag all by our lonesome. It doesn't feel necessary. Let's go ahead and entangle, though. That'll keep him... Well, I mean, he'll still attack. He'll still attack, but these two won't be able to attack unless they can lunge. Yeah, they don't have lunge, so they're pretty much useless till next turn. All right. Oh, they've got 2 range. Never mind, that was a pointless play that accomplished nothing. He killed my guardian. Do you have a fire arrow? How the hell did he kill my... So, he had 11 health, 2, 2, and 1. How exactly does 2, 2, and 1 add up to a kill? Strange. I don't know precisely what happened right there. I can't honestly tell you. Something happened. I'm not saying shenanigans. I'm just identifying that I have no idea what just happened. Throw a squirrel at him. Go ahead and get a backstab off on him. I may need a few more squirrels. Go ahead and buff them up a little bit too. The smartest time to have done that would have been... Smartest time to have done that probably would have been before this guy attacked, because then we would have got a kill right here. So I got my turn orders slightly out of whack, but it'll be fine. Huh, what did they do? Oh, they make you weak to goblin attacks, so they're getting bonus damage. I was not aware that they had that ability. Goblin OP, please nerf. Yeah, just get on in there. This fight is not going well for us. I'm not crazy happy about it, but it's the way she goes. I lost all my guardians. So, like, I'm almost positive this run is possibly over for me. Don't like that my wolf has his back exposed right there, but honestly, we've got the fight in the bag right now anyways, so it's no biggie. Whittle off some armor. He already got his counterattack, so we don't need to worry about that. Throw another squirrel at him. Oh, squirrel can't attack diagonal. Beautiful. He can't attack diagonal either. Lovely. You know what? You're a 1-1 squirrel now. I'm tired of looking at you. You've upset me badly, and you forced me to break out my trump card. All right? Oh, does the wolf stay with you after the fight? I didn't realize wolves were loyal. That's pretty cool. Nice. I don't think that that fight was worth what we got out of it, but I'm somewhat open to being convinced. Who is this guy? McGee's Shop. What does Downfall do? Oh, when he dies, he lights off a 4 damage 3x3 area attack? That's actually pretty spicy. I'll take him. I can use him as like my own personal little kind of like bomber that just runs in and takes care of big packs of enemies when they all focus fire him. That is, unless the AI is smart enough not to do that, but who knows. Get all that treasure out of there. Definitely want that. Apparently it gave me some marshmallows. We have a spear on the equipment rack, which allows us to customize a humanoid ally, I think including ourselves as well. But yeah, this is Summoner's Fate. I think the game is really well constructed, and I think it's a really, really good game. I think that if you are into card games, this is a very, very clean reproduction of Magic the Gathering with a little bit of tactical RPG and a little bit of roguelite randomness thrown in. And honestly, I think that's kind of a winning proposition. Thus far, I have not seen or felt or noticed anything that made me think this game needs improvement. by all means, continue to add to it, developers, but it seems as though the game is in very, very good shape. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had Summoner's Fate. Tomorrow, we will very likely have something else. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will return tomorrow with some more content hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Bye, everybody.